Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we're going to talk about opportunities coming our way. We're going to look at briefly why the market has been doing what it's been doing and see areas where we can take advantage. So without further ado, let's go get on with the video. So you've got an interesting unlock tomorrow, guys. I think this is one of your last opportunities to grab some Karrat. Now, Karrat's IEO price, as you can see here, was 75 cents. All right. So, you know, if you go into the IEO, you're sitting minus 29%. That puts into perspective why so many investors just complain about being down on a project, because, you know, you would have probably got into the hype, got into the project, and you probably would have got into this sale expecting to have a very good outcome, but it's not been that way. Now, in terms of the project overview, you've got, I think, something like $9 million worth of token being unlocked tomorrow. We've obviously seen how, if obviously you've got the right market makers, how difficult it is for a project to come down, especially if there's demand. But I would say, look, with this one, it's going to be, you know, more or less, I really believe that it will hold its price. But that 618, that, you know, 45 level would be great if we can see that. If not, I wouldn't be too greedy. I will DCA into it now. As simple as that, really, because Karrat is a very, very good project. It's already a $74 million, 500 million FDV, but you should be able to get away with the rest of the market. I mean, you know, the unlock here is 1.8% on the 19th, but there's another one next month as well. So overall, I think it's time to maybe consider a bag if you're into this one. This has as equal chance of going mainstream as any other, like, you know, any of the other big crypto gaming projects that we have. So in the world of vesting and unlocks, guys, is literally, I mean, what are we looking at? The likes of Scroll, D-Bridge, Polyhydra, which has a huge important unlock coming. Karrat's actual unlock is 12% of the market cap, so you can imagine that is going to be quite huge. But it's good to talk about unlocks, because most of the time, most people don't actually even consider them when they are buying. They just buy on the day, that's it, because money is available. And I can see the psychology behind that, because people just want to put the money into crypto rather than spending it on a night out or whatever it might be. But overall, I think the only important unlock that I can see is Karrat. Okay, Karrat's an unlock. In other news, guys, it's interesting to know this report by CoinGecko, and this is kind of like 7 points which I think will ring true in your portfolio. First of all, the overall Q3 market cap of crypto fell by 1%. We know that. Bitcoin increased dominance. We know that. This is why your portfolio is mainly suffering. We can look at the Bitcoin chart and other charts in a minute, but Bitcoin dominance has increased, and at the time of that writing, 53%. Now it's over, it's almost 60%. Now, until Bitcoin dominance touches 60 and comes down, there is absolutely no point in speculating on alt season. We've obviously got the CPI. We've got very, very important election just around the corner. So there are plenty of catalysts that will impact the market. Now, major asset classes have performed Bitcoin, and this was led by gold, which appreciated 13%. That's just investors putting their money into safe assets. Prediction markets grew by nearly 6x in Q4, led by Poly market with 99% of the market share. Transaction on L2s, and this is what I've actually posted in the private group. I talked about an increase in L2s way before this news, and I think it's important to watch base, because base season is actually gearing up. And then, of course, spot trading volume on DEXs fell to 3 trillion in Q3, down by a whopping 14% quarter on quarter. Retail's not here, guys. Retail is not here at all. And of course, Ethereum was dominant chain for DEX trading, but it's quickly losing market share to Solana and Base. And that is essentially what is causing your portfolio to bleed like this. Now, the long-term versus short-term mindset is very important in crypto. You know, if Bitcoin is losing track against major assets, then of course your portfolio is going to look quite funny. So overall, guys, it's just a bit of a macro news on that front. And I think the overall cryptocurrency market today, if we look at the top 100, is dominated by meme coins. Mu, Doge, which is waking up, Popcat, of course, Pepe there, 2%. But overall, there's nothing happening in the market, right? There's nothing quite significant going on in the market. We're slowly grinding up, sideways, and sometimes even down. Now, what I would say is if you look at all major charts, the first major chart I will talk about is SUI. I think the opportunity to buy SUI, you know, a lot of people think that they missed it. I don't think so. I slightly think differently. If the asset is $5 billion in market cap or $6 billion in market cap, you know, if you look at similar run by Cardano in the last cycle, and it runs all the way back up to, you know, it goes all the way back up to, you know, it goes to 90 or 100 billion. Will you really care about what the market cap is right now? 20 billion FDV. So that would suggest it's already gone. Now, luckily, I called this at 74 cents, you know, after years of looking at this and, in fact, actually buying it in 2023 and trading it. It is done 4x, nearly 5x from the lows, right? From October 19th, a year ago, was 36 cents. Today, obviously, is $2. What you can do, what I would say, or what I would suggest you do, this is definitely the coin of our cycle, no doubt. Now, how do you find entry? I would say it really depends on what you're looking for, but it's already starting to fall back a little bit. Anything below, you know, there are certain levels you buy this project at. I think if you buy it below $2, it's great, and then you DCA down if it comes down a bit more. Okay, but the worst thing you can do is to FOMO, right, with these projects. I still think that at $5 billion, it's almost like looking at Potenza Tau. Tau is another one that you could consider maybe as a blue chip that is run way too hard, already starting to complete your bear market shopping list. If you've obviously missed that, then another one you could look at is Say. Now, what I do like about Say is actually glued at this price. It doesn't drop below 43 cents, which is really, really good. It shows you that it's a strong asset right now, and I think Say has good market makers. It will be pumped. I can guarantee that. The one thing they will do is pump Say. So if you've missed, obviously, Say is another consideration that you can have. And while I still believe that Say has not done its move, you can see that it's actually being quite respecting. You know, the channels of growth have been quite respectable. So I would say Say is definitely the other one that I would consider if you've obviously missed SUI, and it's been holding well so far. Now, if we look at the Degen stuff here, let's talk about basedai for a minute. So basedai dropped and it kept on dropping. Now, of course, staking rewards from the brains is to blame. Market pressures is to blame. But I just doubled down and loaded more. Because for me, the opportunity to the upside here, you're looking at a significant growth back to the upside for basedai. So, I mean, this is not the greatest chart. This is the Mexi chart here. But you're looking at a significant growth here, guys. If we were just to get back up to, you know, just to get back up to these levels. So, you know, in terms of basedai, I'm pretty confident that it will do quite well, you know, in the future. So I've been buying basedai. Tectum is another one that we've been looking at, and you can see here, you know, Tectum has been doing pretty well. I would say any opportunities that you get Tectum around these sort of levels, I would take it. I would definitely take it, because I think anything under 10 cents is going to be quite generational. Now, if you look at from a short-term perspective, you know, if you look at this trend here, it's gonna find support. It briefly just went under 10. Well, did it go under $10? Let's put this line here. No, it didn't. So, you know, there's a massive support at $10 for Tectum. Tectum's going to grow to be something else, guys. I can just feel it. I think Tectum slowly is edging to have more diversity. There's the stablecoin news and other things. So that's a really good one to consider. And then, of course, we look at Kaspa. Now, Kaspa is being absolutely decimated, guys. So if you look at Kaspa on the weekly, the picture is even more horrific. You can see here, there is this massive, you know, I posted this in the Discord. I said Kaspa has broken a long trend extending back to last year. And if we look at this on the daily, we can see that we are now, I mean, this trend line goes back all the way to, you know, this goes back to many months. You know, this trend line has always been quite respectable for us, but it's finally broken that trend. And what I would say is, because it's a multi-month trend, we need to start forming, and we need to watch this line as a resistance line here. Okay, because of course that's always going to be a major resistance line. But Kaspa overall will do okay. Just at the moment, it's not having any time, any time to actually catch a breather. AGI, one of the strongest coins. I think that 65% retracement is probably all it's going to give you, and I think AGI is a good, fantastic crypto to hold. It's probably one of the strongest AI tokens out there. Mintlayer, which has been doing fairly well. And in terms of the other ones, if we look at, for example, the likes of Shrapnel, I'm paying attention to Shrapnel because I hold Shrapnel. My entry to Shrapnel was just ridiculous. You know, we've entered absolutely here at the bottom. You know, it's literally been the bottom. You can see here, you know, bought here, especially at those lows around this box here. So, I mean, you can't get lower than that in terms of the upside movement. But this is your play, guys. This is your play to your second token to off the grid. I think against against when, you know, Avalanche takes off, this will also take off. But it's not massively being up from there. It's just respecting this trend line. I would say if you're holding Shrapnel, congratulations. If not, you know, at these prices, I think it's still low enough. This thing went nearly over 50 cents. One that's been really interesting, yesterday I did a video about AI tech, and I can tell you right now, AI tech is being slept on. There is that, of course, a lot of inflation that was happening all the way here. If you look at this channel, guys, this has just been one hell of a sell-off, right? Finally broke that, because that was a difficult downtrend for people. But what you can see is in this new formation here, in this new bottom here, this is around that 8-cent mark, and it spent a bit of time there. Now it's obviously broken out of that and has formed a new support band here, but today it's under 10 cents, so $9,900 for exactly 100,000 tokens. So if you wanted to get 100k or work towards 50k, which I think are great numbers, and even 25k, okay, I would say these are the only three numbers worth holding for retail. Otherwise, there's no point. You know, if you're holding 10,000 or try to get it up to 25k, 50k, and 100k, I think that's the DCA plan for retail. Because quite honestly, going through the wallets, few wallets hold a decent sized bag of AI tech. OTK, very strong, just sitting there. Bitenza Tau has obviously come down to that under $600, which is on that the retracement there. And overall, guys, in terms of this is another one that we're looking at, which is G Swift. And G Swift right now is sitting at a level where it's never been done before. And to buy 100k, you know, G Swift has never been cheaper. You know, what we're looking at is $6,000, $6,400 for 100k. I think this is how we need to start thinking in terms of, you know, finding psychological levels for these projects. Corpo World, again, you know, no one's going to talk about Corpo right now, but I think Corpo is done with this price action because it's not only happened once, it came down from another major drawdown. So what we're seeing here is we got to find this support for Corporate World to these levels, and then hopefully Corporate World goes up from there. ZF, again, nothing really to say about ZF except that ZF has a new range here. You know, it's a tiny micro cap. Merlin chain looking strong. I like the price action of Merlin chain. It's actually going in a positive direction. You know, it's sometimes you've got to start to see where strength is, and I think, you know, from the reaction of this box, it looks like Merlin chain had that 1, 2, 3. You know, this is good, and it's kind of retraced that a little bit, but it's starting to go back up again, guys. So Merlin chain looking good. Octaspace is literally just glued to 1.4. Creo Engine is another one that I really like and has come back down to this box of interest. And I think in terms of my market update, this is another good one to watch if you're DCAing into your bags. And yeah, I think that's all it is, guys. You know, let me know what you think of the overall market situation, because I think we are gonna have a significant push up in the next few weeks leading up to election. Election definitely will be a catalyst for us to have a massive pump, guys. And smash a like if you found this useful, and I'll catch you on the next one.